What if money wasn't something you chased, but in fact something you aligned with? In this video, we're going to shift your entire relationship with money from fear and scarcity to power and peace. My name is Peter Abundant, aka Dr. Abundant, PhD, ordained minister of metaphysical sciences. I'm also the author of The Enlightened Shadow and Spiritual, Not Religious, both available on Amazon and Audible. Money. Money is so interesting, especially for those of us who are on this conscious spiritual journey, because many of us find that there's a conflict. There's a duality that exists, a contrast. They seem to be two opposite and opposing forces or things that we recognize for some reason we can't manage to balance, or we find it somewhat difficult to balance. We find that we have to go through a traverse journey of bringing those two things together and understanding that those two things are in fact the same. Now, you've been taught to see money as something separate from the spiritual path, right? But what it actually is part of the spiritual path, just like everything else is. In this video, we'll explore how money, when aligned with your higher self, becomes a tool for your growth, your freedom, and your divine purpose. I myself have dealt with really traversing the journey of learning how to understand money as it relates to spirituality, always on this trajectory of entrepreneurship, starting various different businesses, starting some, ending them before they even got started because I thought there was a better idea. And recognizing one fundamental thing for myself is to be consistent, to pick something and continue the course, especially something that relates to my own talents, my own passions or curiosities. So what you have to understand, though, energetically, is that you might believe money is limited. And we're taught that. We're taught that only the 1% of the entire population amasses a certain amount of wealth and money. We're taught that in order to create wealth, money, we have to do some very, distasteful, bad things, right? We have to challenge our own ethics and morals in order to create the amount of wealth that we desire. But that belief keeps you stuck, right? It keeps you stuck in a perpetual state of, one, being broke, but two, as a byproduct of being broke, you're always stressed out. And you're always in this race with other people, this competition, right? To try to get a few extra dollars more than the person beside you, than the person behind you, than the person in front of you, than even your own family members, or even your own domestic partners, your spouse, your life partner. And that ultimately keeps you stuck there. Because whatever it is that you think you have to do in order to get something, guess what? You're right. Because as a creator of your reality, your belief systems is something that actually creates the reality that you live in. And if you truly believe deep down that money is scarce and that money is not abundance, is not something that is available to everybody, though you may tell yourself it is, if you believe deep down that it isn't, that you have to be special, that you have to be unique, that you have to be even smart, and you don't identify yourself as to be those things, then guess what? You're going to put yourself in a reality where you cannot achieve that. And so you have to recognize that even in that, you are creating the outcome, the reality by which you essentially have a particular relationship with money, even though that relationship does not serve you. Once you recognize that you create that reality, you then begin to have a glimpse of your ability to create a different reality where you actually have a more harmonious, beautiful, connected relationship, intimate relationship with money. Not a relationship where it is toxic, it is abusive, it is lacking, but one that expresses love, abundance, right? Overflow. You see? So the mindset of scarcity is one that disconnects you from your natural abundance. I've just stated it is your belief system that actually is the catalyst or the foundation of whatever it is you experience. Now, when you recognize that it is your belief system, meaning that you decide what it is that you're going to believe, and that actually will manifest itself as your reality, that means that you get to change it. You get to identify that it is your mindset and it is nothing else. There have been, and you can research and you've even seen it, examples where people in a similar situation as you, or even a worse situation than you, have learned to switch their mindset to align their reality with their true desires and create large amounts of money and success and prosperity. If they can do it because they are a reflection of you, because your whole universe and everything that you are experiencing is a reflection of what you can do, what is possible for you, then you must see that as an example of the ability, the potentiality of what it is that you can create for yourself. Don't look at somebody else as an acceptance, as them being special and you're not. Look at them only as an example, a mirror, a reflection of your own self and what you are capable of. That is the main point of how we exchange and why we exchange with one another. That is the beauty of connection, relationships, bonds, friendships, family, even associates, even strangers. Don't look at any of these people, these individuals, as something distant or far away from you. You are witnessing them, experiencing them to give you proof, evidence that you can create that for yourself as well. And when you start seeing money as an energy that flows from the infinite that exists around us and within everything that is, you begin attracting more with ease because you understand that this energy is simply what is. It is life. It is the universe. And you, being consciousness, are the force that dictates what it is you're going to experience from this energy, what you're going to experience as this energy, what you're going to create. You see, consciousness is on a infinite journey of collecting wisdom, collecting insight, right? Collecting knowledge, experiences. And your job here is to have a particular experience called you, right? Insert your name in the blank. Just like I am here to have a particular experience called Peter Abundant, Dr. Abundant. And so that experience is one that I must be led by. And you get to understand what that experience is supposed to be by following your desires, the things that you think about constantly, the thing that you wish to create. Those are things that are meant for you. And if you look to other people and you see what they're doing that is in alignment with what it is that you desire, and you're seeing that consistently, it is because that is you by way of the universe reflecting yourself to yourself. It is showing you what's possible for you. And so your job is to recognize that your higher intelligence, your higher self, AKA the universe, is showing you the way. It is showing you that this is for you. And it is for you in a very unique and special way. So it isn't for you to actually replicate and mimic exactly what that person did, but ultimately recognize that you can do it your way, right? By recognizing you are unique, you are special, you are different. It is about really putting out the clear intention that you wish to create a certain amount of money, right? A certain expression of energy. In the case of this, the expression is money. It can be the paper, the fabric, it can be the digits in your bank account. It can be the property that you wish to purchase. It can be the businesses that you wish to build, create, and grow. Whatever it is to you, right? It can be starting a hair salon or a chain of hair salons. It can be starting a pottery business. It can be writing books. It can be fitness. It can be taking care of animals. Whatever it is that aligns with your gift, your talent, your passion, that is your means of creating that money. Now, there are some people who can just simply pick up any business and they have a gift of making a business better, growing that business, and selling that business. Some people's gift is simply making money. Some people's passion and talents is simply making money, but that is rare. So what I ask of you is to look within yourself. Yes, you want to attract money. You want to create money. You want to create wealth. The best way to do that is by recognizing what you're great at, what you're good at, what you're curious about. That will lead you to the wealth. Doing that, recognizing that if you can do something constantly every single day, then it's not work, right? But you have to be mindful to balance what it is that you desire doing and how much of it you want to do and how much money you want to make. Thinking about those things and not turning something you have love for into a job. So be mindful about that as well, because that is something that me personally, I always think about, is not so much working myself to a point of taking away the love for my passion, but recognizing that I can have and continue to cultivate my passion for it, protect my passion, and scale it in a way that allows me to do it, but in a way leverage things like the internet, things like creating courses or books or what have you, teaching people to, express and share, right? To basically multiply myself in any way possible in order for me to cultivate that peace and love for what it is that I do while scaling and reaching more people as possible, So it's a matter of recognizing that you don't want to restrict yourself. Okay. You want to think about what it is that you want to do, how you want to do it, and then you package that in a way to create more money. Your finances, your financial choices starts with reflecting, right? Your deepest values, your spiritual goals, and your personal talents. You see, when you start to bring those things together, all right, it makes a trinity. It makes a trinity of manifestation. I usually talk about manifestation as mind, body, spirit, but in many cases, you can change that around, right? Values, goals, talents. Okay. Take your talents, make goals out of those talents, make sure you're implementing values, and then you share that amongst other people, right? That's essentially how you manifest the life you truly want. You have to make sure that you have one conscious decision to create the wealth that you desire by the means that you have available to you right now. You see, and I say right now because it's important to be somewhat flexible, right? Have some buoyancy, because something that you want to do right now makes a whole lot of sense. And that's the thing that you should be doing. But yourself, your consciousness, the universe has an interesting way of showing you the path by basically placing a carrot in front of you saying, okay, let's go in this direction. Okay, let's try to get this carrot. But eventually that will lead you to a garden of carrots somewhere else, right? You may experience yourself saying, I want this, moving, going forward, but then that can lead you to something else bigger, more connected with who you are. You yourself may be expanding along the journey and experience an awakening as to something else that you want to do, something bigger than what you wanted to do before, right? So you have to be willing to just keep moving, following consciousness. And when you follow consciousness, it will either lead you to the thing that you desire and also expand you and show you something bigger. Or it will, on the journey toward leading you to the thing that you desire, show you something else. But the point is to focus on what it is that you desire, move toward that. Okay. And then just trust in yourself to show you the way, essentially. When you do that, then that essentially helps you to utilize that and understand that money is essentially a tool, right? Say, for example, you have a goal. You say to yourself, I want to create a business. You create this business. You recognize that by means of the business, yes, you can amass a certain amount of money, but you also recognize how much of a contribution you can put in and make in people's lives, not only by means of the money, but by means of your business. And so you take that money, put it into your business to grow and grow and grow to make more of an impact. That is transforming yourself. That is allowing you to expand and grow, to recognize that you are not somebody who just seeks money, right? Maybe you attract and you create all the money that you can use. And so now what's next? What's next is ultimately support, help, right? Contribution, making the world a better place. So you can use money to break old patterns, right? And open new doors. You can use money to grow spiritually. The thing about that is making sure you do not identify with the money. You do not attach yourself to the money. Remember that the things that we wish to materialize and manifest in our lives are just simply a sign, a signal, an echo from our true selves. It is showing us the way. It is the breadcrumbs leading us to the path of self-realization, enlightenment. So just because you desire money, be clear that it isn't the money itself that you desire. You simply desire the outcome, the result of what the money will bring you. Sometimes that is freedom. That is your ability to, have agency and be able to do what it is you want to do when you want to do it. That in itself allows and lends itself to you expanding spiritually. Maybe you just want to go to a silent retreat. Maybe you want to go to a, temple where you can just meditate and just chill out for a year and be still and go within. Maybe it's just sending your family, going with your family on trips, traveling the world. Okay. But you have to recognize it is the means, right? Money is the means by which you create something grander for yourself. It's only a tool for transformation. Okay. Money is not the transformation itself. So when you recognize that, you see that money isn't really as big as we make it out to be. We make money the thing, and that's what makes it so elusive. That's what makes it part of the chase. But really, the thing isn't money. The thing is what we can do with money. So be mindful and make sure you make money not so big, not bigger than you, right? Recognize that money is energy. You are energy. You are the controller of energy. Your mind, your consciousness controls all the energy in your body. One of the most miraculous, beautiful, strong, intelligent machines ever on the face of the earth, ever in the entire galaxy. You manage that energy. And therefore, money, this piece of paper, this cloth, or this digit, okay, is nothing compared to that. So if you can materialize, move, right, animate this physical body, your thoughts, your emotions, then you most certainly can materialize and animate this thing called money. You must invest in your healing, your growth, in your expansion. And when you do that, you let your financial resources support your peace, your purpose, your power. Then you recognize that money is just simply a thing, just like a phone, just like a piece of paper, just like a pen, just like water, just like oxygen. It is abundant. It is available to you all the time. And all you have to do is simply claim it and then put it to use. Okay? Make sure you are mindful about these things because we take it for granted, and it's okay to a certain degree, but we make money so, we give money so much power that it becomes more powerful than us. And I want you to recognize that you are the power that actually gives money its power, you see? And if you take away some of that power from money, you recognize that it's everywhere. Then you're able to see how to attract it, how to create it. Real wealth isn't in the things that you own, right? It's essentially in how you feel. Spiritual wealth goes beyond the material possessions. It is connecting with that true creator within, the creator that decided what money is to them. That is you, the creator that decided that you need to chase money, that money was something that you wasn't available, right? You didn't have access to. It wasn't available to you, that only special people have money. Okay. Let that go. Recognize that you get to change and create a new story. You get to change and identify that you create what money means, and you create how much money you have and how much money you will have. Okay. Joy, presence, connection, love. Those are the true riches. Those are the things that you are going to use money, okay, without having to use money to create. When you create those things, and you can easily create those things with a simple decision, some rituals, some habits, a discipline of continuously cultivating your life around those things, money will come as a byproduct of those things. When you stop chasing, you start aligning. Abundance meets you where you are. So if you're not in a place of abundance and the abundant mindset, then guess what? Money is not going to be aligned with you. It's not going to be attracted to you. You're not going to be able to see it because your mind, your eyes are not trained to see it, to recognize where it is when it's calling you. So be grateful for what's flowing to you already because you have money, okay? You have something. Now, you may not identify that something as significant, as abundant, as evidence of prosperity, but it is. Once you own that, once you practice gratitude with that, when you receive it and when you have to give it out, right? Whether it be bills, whether it be school, whether it be a car payment, a mortgage, food, whatever it is, when you are practicing understanding the flow, it opens doors for more to come your way. Let go of the beliefs that tell you wealth is not spiritual. It is. It is about an exchange, an abundant exchange of value, of love, of connection, of authenticity, of vulnerability. It is about you setting the attention to have all the things that you desire, joy, presence, right? And recognizing that this thing called money is just simply a tool that you can use to create more experiences, more things, right? To attract, to compound the joy, the presence that you can already create within yourself. So in a sense, you're creating that joy, that presence within yourself to be able to see opportunities that will create, let's say, the energy of money in order for you to reinvest that into the joy, the presence, right? The fulfillment, the self-realization, the enlightenment. So embrace the truth. Your divine nature is abundance. And it's time that you live like it. It's time that you take ownership of that. It's time that you recognize you are the creator of everything. And money is nothing compared to everything that you are already creating on a consistent basis, moment to moment. So recognize you are now the creator of money, of abundance, of prosperity. Thank you so much. Feel free to go to drabundant.com, subscribe to my daily newsletter, get access to this free ebook, and so much more. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.